You're listening to Empire of Rust, the world's first and only Transformers RPG podcast. Join the heroes of Iacon as they defend Cybertronian civilization from the remnants of Cybertron First to Lord Starscream's egotistical leadership, and beyond to the unknown threats on the other side of distant stars.
Welcome back, everyone, to Empire of Rust, the one and only, the singular Transformers RPG podcast. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to say this. The Transformers RPG, the PDF came out in August, and yeah, the actual the book is going to be out really soon if it's not already out now. So we'll have to see where people go with that. Who knows? We might not be able to say we are the only one anymore.
Longest running.
That would be awful. That would be so unpleasant, you know.
The longest running should be our new title.
I can do that.
Well, we were the first, so you can always say the first, but you can't say the only. You can get rid of the only, and then it's still good.
The first and longest running Transformers RPG podcast.
Yeah.
There you go. First trademark Adam.
It's like the longest running heavy metal station in the world is in Brazil.
And when did it start?
50 years ago or something like that.
And it's still
when did
going,
heavy metal start? Yeah.
It was probably before heavy metal was mainstream.
Yeah. They have a big metal scene down there, apparently. And I was like, oh, cool. I didn't know that.
I can dig it.
Bon trabalho.
I know there's a hotel. I think it's an inn or whatever you call it in China. It's been open since 767 or something like that. The same family.
Wow.
That's where Hob and Morpheus meet every century.
There's a light bulb in a fire station somewhere in the U.S. that's been on for 70 years.
It's the unlimited, eternal light bulb. Man, I can't get the speech right today. We're in trouble today, guys.
the eternal fire bulb.
Mind. Have you two met?
The unlimited fire bulb.
That sounds like a cool gun, actually.
Yeah.
So, Mike, I wanted to mention that I finished up the latest Orville season.
Yes.
Did you?
I did.
What did you think?
I enjoyed it. It was quite different.
Yep.
But I thought it was good. I especially liked the last episode. I thought that was closer to season 2 style than any of the other episodes, I think.
Didn't you guys only start watching that an hour ago?
Yeah. It's a short season.
For those that are binging this show.
More like 2 or 3 hours, that's all. But we still managed to do the whole thing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mike?
It was really, really good. It actually was my favorite season so far of the Orville. So I really liked that. And I really did like that they toned down the comedy quite a bit. And it feels very, very Next Generation, very Star Trek. And
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like Star Trek, this season is definitely the closest to it than the previous ones. So that's one of the bonuses, I think, that made it so good. I did miss some of the comedy because there were some episodes it was zero or very, very little.
Sure.
But other than that, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, I said I definitely enjoyed it. I hope that it is coming back for season 4, and I hope they kind of continue a kind of a similar theme to this.
Yeah, definitely.
What about so when you're watching a Star Trek series or an Orville like this? I mean, what kind of stories are you looking for? Are you looking for something that has comedy to it? Are you looking for more hard sci-fi kind of stuff? What are you what are you looking for?
Me?
Yeah, you.
He's like, that wasn't in the deal for me to answer 2 questions.
I know, right? Gonna change my contract. I don't know. It depends on the type of show. I guess mostly story for sci-fi. As long as it's got a good story. It could be serious. It could be comedic, whatever. I think Orville was different because it was really, other than like Spaceballs, one of the only comedy sci-fis in existence. And there's others that had like little comedy to it, but that was one of the main draws for the Orville. I mean, the first season was a little overdone, but they started to tone it down a bit, and it got better once they started doing like serious stories with comedy. And I think that was a good mix that they found a good balance for in season 2.
Have you seen Lower Decks at all?
I saw the first season. I haven't seen the second one yet.
Like that kind of comedy? Is that what what you can enjoy?
I enjoy it. That's typically not what if I'm looking for a sci-fi show, that's not typically what I'm looking for. But as a comedy sci-fi show, it's funny. I enjoyed watching it.
Okay.
I mean, I enjoy sci-fi horror a lot, but it's hard to find good ones. Ever since I've seen Event Horizon, it's like Event Horizon and not Event Horizon. It's pretty much. This is not Event Horizon. Yeah.
Does it have to be like starship based or like space based like that, or can it be like any kind of sci-fi?
Any
horror?
any kind. I enjoyed Cube.
Okay.
It was like the old Doctor Who is the things I really used to like a lot. Still do. A couple of the episodes actually were written by Douglas Adams, and you can totally see a sense of humor in them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
if you watch The Pirate Planet, he wrote that one, and you can totally see it.
Interesting.
He has a cyborg pirate that runs a planet that flies through space, pretty much.
Aren't all planets flying through space?
Yeah. This one's hollow, and it disappears and reappears on other planets.
That's unique.
The citizens'
cool.
reactions were funny because they every time they start running out of money, he announces a new golden age, so they teleport to a new planet, and then of course the mines all fill up again.
Huh.
And they're like, yeah, it just fills up again. He's like, is that wrong? He's like, and the doctor's like, it's an economic miracle. Of course it's wrong.
What about something like Sphere?
I liked Sphere.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd want to watch it again sometime because I actually really liked the weird ones like that. So, what was the recent one? Cloverfield Conundrum or whatever.
Cloverfield was a movie that was not really
it,
recent, but
yeah,
it's a different.
It was the third part of that series,
The Paradox,
Cloverfield Paradox, something like that.
Yeah,
it actually has nothing. I hesitate to explain what it does and doesn't have to do with the series.
Very little.
Very little, yes. But they have things like the like dimensions, like it has to do with time travel and spatial dimensions. And one time they find some guy's hand running around detached from his body somewhere in the spaceship.
ooh,
Yeah, the strange ones are fun.
I like a lot of stuff. I mean, I find that at this point, I'm more impressed by good writing than I am by special effects. That being said, I really enjoy when super science is done well. I like the cutting edge kind of like, where science and magic kind of meet sort of thing. Like not in like, oh, there's actual magic, but it's just like, that's miraculous. Like how, like we don't understand that. Like that's amazing. Coupled with genuine depiction of alienness. Because almost all the sci-fi that we end up dealing with is just like, oh, wow, look at these humans with weird ears. And you're like, aliens are fucking alien. Like they are so radically different from us. Like, and not just in physicality, but in mentality. And when a show can show that in a way that is like, you're like, wow, like that made me uncomfortable, but not necessarily in a bad way. But it was just like, imagine a culture that didn't understand the concept of should.
interesting.
Or like the idea that the idea of separation of identity. Like, I mean, you're like, whoa, like that stuff's fucking great. And it doesn't have to be a TV show. It could be a comic book, like Orbiter blew my mind, like made me cry. reading that graphic novel because of how well they did the alien mindset. And, you know, I like, it's not necessarily a sci-fi thing. I can't stand it when shows have characters that just have absolutely ridiculous character flaws just to create drama. Like, you can have competent, well-communicating people working together and still have a shit stuff that go wrong. But it doesn't have to be like, well, why did it go wrong? Because I didn't tell you, because I'm an asshole. Like, you know, it's just like, come on. Like work together. You know, it's just like, and I think that Star Trek The Next Generation did that really well. Like, there were no weak links. Everybody was good at what they did, and it was still hard. And that's proof. Like, you don't have to have someone who's like, hey, I just have that impulse to just throw wrenches when we're in the generator room, and oh, whoop, it happened, like it does every week. Like, you know.
It's so true. It's so true.
So yeah, I have strong feelings about this sort of stuff. So it's like, I like alienness. I like high technology. I like it when sci-fi shows us what's possible as opposed to the death of our world. You know, like, so like this like post-apocalyptic horror stuff just kills my soul. But when you show me something that's post-scarcity and it's about exploration and knowledge and like that, lights me up. Like, I love that stuff.
There's a book series I might actually recommend to you based on that, by a guy named Jack Campbell. It's called like the Lost Fleet series.
I'm unfamiliar.
Well, good. I can actually recommend it then, and you won't know anything about it.
Good.
but it does portray alienness. Like, there's not a ton of alien like civilizations in that story. It's more about the kind of like restoration of intelligence and of like society to like human space. Right. But there are some alien civilizations in there, and they are completely like alien, like feeling, totally. Right. Imagine if a completely different animal evolved, like on Earth, a different animal evolved into the dominant species of life, and like, what would that society be like? How that would be different. And there's some really great examples of things like herd animals, like evolving to the dominant species, and how they are so much different than humans are.
Right.
But yeah, if you get a chance, the Lost Fleet series by Jack Campbell, it is a little bit.
Send me a message. I'll forget otherwise. So
I can do that.
It is. That's why I said it.
It is a little pro-military, and that's like, it is what it is.
That happens in space a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say that the actual depictions of military combat in there are actually fairly close to what is probably realistic for space combat.
Right.
Which I kind of like. It. It's
like, don't get me wrong. I love some space combat, you know what I mean? But I know, like, I tend to really enjoy it when it makes sense. Like, you know, like the combat in like The Expanse is fantastic. But that being said, like, when it's just fucking weird and there's like, what did you just throw at me? Like a quantum nothing? And you're like, what is that? I don't know, but it sounds cool. Like, you know, and it's, you know, like Babylon 5, like when you see like the first ones and they're just throwing shit and you're like, what is, like, that's not a laser. That's not a grenade. That's like, I don't even know what that is. It's an unmaking, you know, it's.
What's this grenade do? It just doesn't make you anymore.
Yeah. It kills you a priori. You know, like, it's not that I'm murdering you. You would never have existed. And you're like,
Actually reminds me a little of a book I read, old Star Trek book, which I do recommend, called Doctor's Orders. Basically, Kirk goes missing, and the Doctor takes over. Doc McCoy takes over, and they're basically visiting a planet with like three very, very weird dominant life forms. Like, ones are like amoebas that have no diet and because they don't need it, you know. That sort of, and the other ones are like living trees, and the third one is. But anyway, the battle thing he was talking about, because there's a point where they actually get into a big space battle, and then they execute this maneuver, and it's going to take 12 hours before they need to do anything else. It's just because the distances are so big at that point. And I thought that was the sort of thing. It's like, all right, yeah, we're doing this, but go take a nap because they're not going to need anything for 12 hours.
Yeah, and that's actually a lot of what happens in the Lost Fleet series, where like the distances between ships and between combat is just so massive that like, a lot of it is just, all right, we're shooting forward as fast as we can, but it's still going to be like half a day before we get to firing range.
I'd have to say some of the really early Doctor Who stuff was kind of what got me into sci-fi. But like Matt said, it was scary to watch as a youngin'.
Now, when you say the early stuff, you're talking about like the 60s stuff?
No, I'm not that old.
Well, I'm sure you probably saw it on reruns.
No,
they had reruns on PBS forever.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know.
I wasn't old enough to see a Red Dwarf, but I can still enjoy it for what it is.
Oh, I forgot about Red Dwarf.
Yeah, most people have.
Oh,
shade on Red Dwarf.
Yeah. So the early Doctor Who stuff is what kind of got me into it. I would end up watching it with my father because he had this little black and white TV that was set up by his bed when I was really young, and I would come in and just lay down with him, and we'd watch like hockey or something that was on, and then he'd fall asleep, and so I got to just stay up as late as I could and just watch whatever came on next. And Doctor Who came on a lot of times, and yeah, kind of got me interested and a little scared at some of the episodes. So as a young kid, you don't have the buffer in the brain to quite let you know, all right, this is fantasy. This isn't possibly real. And your mind starts going a mile a minute. And suddenly it's dark in the room. And you're very aware of this. So you can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. Later on, I got into Star Blazers on my own.
Nice.
And I really liked watching that. In fact, I think at least 50% of the Lego toys that I built after I built, the set from the instructions were copies of the different ships that were in Star Blazers.
Nice.
I do agree with that because, especially looking back at when I got older, I did get scared by quite a few of the Doctor Who episodes when I was very little. But now that I've experienced a lot more media and looking back, it's almost like 50% horror sometimes. There's a lot of horror beats to it. So it's like a horror sci-fi movie show a lot of times,
Were there any giant spiders in the Doctor Who episodes?
Many, actually.
So this last combat must have been a really familiar thing for you, Matt, there, huh?
Graceful.
Yeah, I remember that episode of Doctor Who where he scraped off a spider on top of a truck by going through a takeout station at a restaurant for robots.
Now that you say it,
yeah,
it does sound really familiar.
Familiar, yeah. It's just like,
oddly enough, that's probably not the most bizarre thing that's been on that show.
Totally,
Wildstrike, you are still gunning the engine as you tear through the... what do I name this thing? Rocket spread glare? Is that what I called this?
You made a joke about eating raccoons, so probably something rocket related.
Oh, yes.
I was thinking the old G.I. Joe cartoon.
Rocket Burger.
With the giant red rocket on the top of the restaurant? Just me?
I don't remember that, no.
Anyway, so Wildstrike, you just tore through this drive-through, knocking this spider off the roof and taking a good chunk of the roof with it, thanks to Carapace and Denizen and Magnum all helping out to tear that roof off. What do you want to do? You're still going unsafely fast.
In his mind, way too slow.
I guess I'll slow down.
Can you do a Yui?
Not at this speed.
Yeah, you really are going like unsafe, like recklessly fast for roadways. But I'm sure you got it under control because you're just like, oh yeah, it's just like whatever.
I'll slow it down a bit.
Okay.
I don't remember where we're heading, but I'll go on course if we had a place.
I want all of you to make a quick perception check.
Of course.
24.
24. Ooh, solid. Okay.
I got myself a 23.
23, also solid. Maggie Thaggers.
I'm not sure if I should answer you now. 37.
Listen, if you fuck up all our names, you know what? We can mess up yours too.
But that's just bad memory.
Oh, come on, Pathagnom. Get with the program.
I like Pathagnom better.
And last, but certainly not least, Carapace.
16.
Solid from everyone else, not from you though.
Yeah, that's how stats work.
Well, you're busy, pushing up the roof and getting everything, so you're just all excited and congratulating yourself. It's like, yeah, I just wrecked him.
Does that sound...
Damn near killed him.
But the rest of you hear a sound of something being dragged from the back of the truck, and as you all turn around, you can see that the spider bot has snagged the back of the truck with a web, and you are dragging it along with you. What do you want to do?
Well, I'll just jump on back there and cut it loose.
So I can tell you a little bit about Fate Weavers in that because they're not actually normal spiders, there's actually carbon fiber that is actually embedded in their webs, which makes it even stronger than normal. But you know what else that does? It makes it an excellent conductor of electricity.
Well then, let's make ourselves a wee bit of roadkill, shall we?
And that's actually a thing that exists in the real world, just so you guys know. They've actually fed carbon to silkworms, and they have carbon fiber infused silk.
Wow.
That's like
Wow.
a magic material, speaking of future tech.
Damn.
Right, I shall make my way to the back here so I don't get any of my friends in the blast.
People are still in the car with you, but that's...
let's put it in that category, shall we? Alright, and since the spider is being dragged upon the web, I shall aim for the spider just ahead of the spider.
No, I'm saying you can literally just channel the electricity through the web and it will roll down right into its spinneret.
Yep, really cool. That's what we're doing.
Nice.
Alright, I'll do my best impersonation of a Earth cartoon. Kame! Ha! And I'll let loose.
Do I get a reflex save or force save
No, you
some
don't.
kind?
Nope, none. Is what I'd like to say, but I'm pretty sure you're going to get the reflex. Although, if it's still connected to the weapon, and I'm channeling it straight through the weapon, there's really no chance of it really missing, unless it wants to let go and fall away, which is kind of the point of it.
Disadvantage or penalties. Maximize.
Should I maximize it?
I do not want this thing alive.
I have not
Yes.
done this yet, so it won't be...
Sounds dangerous, Jim.
Oh, it is. Alright, so it's going to be taking 60 points of damage as it's maximized.
Ooh.
And D6 it is. The range is 120 feet. I think it's well within my range. And where is the save?
Typically, it's a reflex save for half.
Yep, reflex. That's what it is.
And what's my number?
Reflex 19.
So I did give it disadvantage on the save. The first
Good
one was
to
a 17. The second roll, though, was a 6. Unfortunately, that does actually give it a 20 on the save, so he does make the save.
Well, 30 damage is still 30 damage.
Absolutely.
That's good.
All right, Denizen, yeah, you channel your electrical blast right into the web, and it streams along the web, impacting the spider and starting to fry it. You can see the spider like his limbs like thrashing about like ah!
Oh, this is so delicious looking.
And electricity also streams backwards towards the truck. Give me a reflex save, everyone except Wildstrike.
Can I make a reflex save to rip the webbing off of the truck before it backtracks? I.e., taking it myself?
If you want to try that, I'm okay with it.
All right, I'm going to do that then. So I'm going to make TC 19 against my own.
Question, how far away is it dragging from behind us?
I'll say that it is about 20 feet back or so.
Well, then I'll definitely be ripping that off there if I can. Here's my reflex save, and it's a 12. So no, I did not make that reflex save.
All right. That means the other two of you are going to take the damage, but you can, or take some damage, but you can make a reflex save to see if you can avoid the bulk of it.
And it's a 19?
Mm-hmm.
Then I fail.
Oh.
Don't do that.
I failed too. 8.
And I will say 15 points of electrical damage.
Oh, okay. That's significantly less. Okay. I have electricity 8 resistance, so I take 7.
Doesn't make sense for it to be all like 100%, I guess, as it like flows into the truck, you know?
Yeah, no, I was surprised you made it come back at all.
I'll be honest with
That's
you.
generally how electricity works.
I was never on board in the first place.
Still a good hit on the spider, but a little bit of blowback on you guys as well. Magnum, you are up next. Again, trailing spider. Almost like you guys just got married.
Question. We haven't had time to kind of like activate the weapons that we just acquired, correct? Or
I don't think so, because the spider attacked fairly soon after after you got out of the garage.
I already used mine once. Is that a bad problem? It's just a handgun.
Well, then Magnum was like, "Yeah, I'm not waiting around for this."
I found a bigger gun. All right, I'm gonna get unprone and move up to the back with Denizen.
Okay.
And put my hand cannon on the strand and take a shot at it. Try to sever it. I got a 12.
Well, yeah. And 12 is going to hit a non-moving object, so certainly.
Okay. That is 12 points of piercing damage.
Piercing, you say, huh? All right. I am going to say that your bullet impacts the webbing. It doesn't cut all the way through, but you can see that it has cut through several strands of it, so about half of them, and you can see the vibration has kind of waved through the strand, and it has knocked the spider a little bit off balance.
All right. Well, okay. That's everything I can do now.
All right. Wild Strike, you maniac. It's up to you.
hard turn around a corner. Wrap this guy around a pole.
Yeah, it's true. Is there anything I can use to my advantage from the roadway?
Yeah, you're still in the middle of the city here, so if you're looking for street lights or something, yeah, you can find that. There are plenty of building and storefronts around.
Yeah, I'd say a building I could smash it into.
There's a bunch of communications booths, power booths are standing around too.
Power
So.
booth. Oh, that would be fun. Let's go for that.
I like the way this guy thinks.
I like the way this guy drives.
Want me to do a piloting check?
I like this
Yeah,
guy.
let's do it. Yeah, do a piloting check. Go for it.
30.
30, all right. And you're trying to... what are you trying to do? You're just trying to, turn, hard brake, and then just, slam against something?
Yeah, exactly. Up against the power booth.
Up against the power booth. All right. Yeah. You slam the brakes and turn the truck and put it into a sharp skid. Moving forward just a little bit, the momentum of the spider creature is going to just launch him forward. Denizen, Magnum, Carapace, you can see the look of shock on the spider's face as it passes within 6 feet of you. And
can I make an attack of opportunity then?
You know what? Go for it. We're all friends here.
Was that a random 6 feet?
I have reach. Yeah, so I'm like, that's within my threatened area.
That's great.
Just imagine in slow motion, like.
So that is a 29 to hit.
That would be a hit.
And I do 9 plus 20, so 29 damage, and that's the spike to finally smash him into the direction of the the power booth. And he moves 10 feet.
Towards the...
Yeah.
He flies right past you. You take your fist and just bam and just knock him forward. He goes flying. The web snaps from the impact, and he goes flying into a recharge booth on the side of the street. Impacts it. The impact is so dangerous that the booth blows up, and the spider goes flying back towards the truck and lands, boom, right at your feet. Unmoving.
That's actually, I was like, that cleans that up really nicely.
Man.
And so ends the spider.
Hey, slammed them into a power station. Some like it hot.
You got a cooked spider right in front of you guys. What do you want to do?
Are we still in motion?
Yeah, I was going to say, just keep going.
Wild Strike braked right in order to do the maneuver, so you are stopped, and you're still in the driver's seat, but you're stopped.
I think we need to get out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Sure do.
The equivalent of traffic police will probably be here soon.
Yeah, it's okay. Find a place inside that we can just drive in, get out, send the truck driving away, and then we'll, just move as we normally do.
Aye.
Sounds good.
I think we're in agreement here.
When we do stop, though, we need to... Is this thing dead, or is this thing just unconscious? Because I know these things can be pretty tough sometimes.
Carapace, I will say that you notice that a datapad has been dislodged from the creature as it landed.
Has its head?
No, it is still hanging on.
Okay.
But what do you want to do with it?
Well, I mean, I'll pick up the datapad because that's often as useful as a dead brain. But hey, one of you guys that can actually know if things are alive or dead, can make sure this thing is dead.
Anybody got a banana?
I will check life science, if that's all right.
Go for it.
Or do you want to do medicine?
Oh, I actually have ranks in that now. Let me give it a shot
you
first.
can, if you're actually
17 life science.
Yeah, you can do life science. Let Carapace give you a hand in that one.
While they're busy with that, I'll go over and pick up the datapad.
Carapace already got it.
Buttons here. Oh, he does. All right, never mind. There's no way I'm getting it now.
Sorry, you did say you picked it up, right?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, good. Denizen, you would have went back to the ship, before the heist. So you have your cube with you.
I know, but that's all the way in my pocket. Oh no, wait! Look, it's already in my hand. How did that happen?
Did someone add a called fusion to that?
Button, dial, button, twister, spinny, toggle.
So 24. Put whatever aid Carapace gives me. 26.
Yeah, you're pretty convinced that it's dead.
All right.
Fricasseed spider.
Can you like delve into like a dead bot's brain?
I'm gonna try.
Are you gonna eat that?
I mean, afterwards, but let's get the juicy bits out of the brain first, and then we can eat it.
So we're on top of the car, right? Or we're inside, like, the back now? Because
there is no top of the car.
Okay, there's
Not anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd be in the back of the truck there.
All right, well, search the body and then try to extract the memory module.
Yeah, you think you take a quick look at it, and you know that time is of the essence here. You don't want to be sticking around in the middle of the city with a dead body at your feet. But the kind of quick examination you did, you think that the whole thing is fried. It's a miracle that the data pad survived as much as it did. But you think that all the internals of this guy is so much melted slag now.
Not a miracle. Fate.
That was brilliant, Carapace. Man, it's like you're waiting your whole life to say that.
All right, well, I guess it's up to, Wild Strike to get us
to be able to say, oh no, she's dead.
Wait a minute, I'm the only girl here. I can't help but take that a wee bit personal.
Good. It was supposed to be.
Pythagoras can extract some energon if you want.
Sure, I'll get some energon.
Oh, gross. Really, man? Do you have to do that here out in public?
We're in the back of a car. We're moving. No one can see.
And what's the deal with taking your pants off? What does that have to do with anything? Exactly. Put on some pants, you heathen.
Carapace, you grab the data pad, and if there's nothing else, Wild Strike, do you want to drive us away?
Yep. I'll take us back.
Walk me through. What are you going to do with the truck?
Like I said, I think we should have had a pre-planned place to drive, drive into a garage. We get out. The truck drives back out and keeps on going. Do we want to leave the Starscream armor in the truck, or do we want to keep that with us in case we need to do this again?
I think we should take it, because if we leave it, then it's going to be obvious that someone was disguised as them. Whereas if we take it,
right,
no, the people might know that. People might still think it's Starscream as people's.
Cool. And leave the trackers in the truck, unless we start throwing them out the window. Yeah.
No, the truck should be fine.
I think Wild Strike threw a couple out the window.
That's okay.
It'd be along the path that we took so far.
Alrighty, off we go with our loot.
That is a successful heist, a successful combat, and yeah, you guys are in a good spot.
Okay.
I will be doing this, at least for the next hour. I'm going to be kind of like looking over our shoulders, trying to like check our tracks, make sure we're not leaving any traces, because that's what I would do.
I was going to say, when we achieve a safe distance, maybe I can transform and you guys can sort of evaluate what we've gotten. Just turn on the communicator blocker and everything.
Oh,
That's a good
okay.
idea.
Yeah, good call. Are you big enough to house me, or am I staying outside
No,
again?
you can get. I'm big enough.
Okay.
I think. Well, I mean, a large creature squeezed into a building, I guess.
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, I'll probably sit down and hug my knees to my chest, but that's okay. I want to be able to see what's going on.
That's something to remember, though, because Carapace can't use any of the parapets or anything like that. He can't. You mean he can get inside that way, but you can't fight from there.
Correct.
Because you're too big.
I mean,
I need another mass shift.
I was going to say, you're implying that I would need to hide in you,
I still dream of the day when everyone uses me as Little Fortress. It's never going to happen. Everyone just sort of runs around, but...
I didn't know you wanted that. I can make that happen.
Well, I have a shield and armor, so
He wants everyone inside him.
I know that feeling.
We know.
I know that feeling. Oh, yeah.
Let's start off with the easier thing on here. Carapace, would you like to examine the datapad, or are you going to hand it off to someone else?
I'll raise my hand.
I mean, I'll hand it off to somebody that actually has ranks in computers.
All right.
which is not her.
All right.
So go ahead and give me a quick computers roll, and if someone wants to assist, you're welcome to.
I think Michael can.
Do it.
Let's see.
The two little guys are helping out, huh?
There you go, +2.
Do I have a rank in computers? I do, but I don't think I'm in too much of a small spot. So
34.
This was actually really easy for you to get into. It had some very basic encryption, but nothing that posed a challenge to you. On this datapad is some communication, and it looks like that this guy here, this spider bot, was effectively one of like the muscle for the Fate Weavers. And for the most part, it's just communications of like, here, go here, protect this person, return to the hive. You know, just basic communications. But one of the last things that did arrive was a list of names. First one is Wolfang. Along with some potential locations for these people. Next to Wolfang, it actually lists Iacon as the location.
That narrows it down.
The second name is Pythagoras. As for location, it's just kind of just a general like Cybertron, Iacon, just kind of with a question mark.
Thanks.
Yeah, a little hard to track down, certainly. The third name is a bot named Swampstone. His location is listed as Earth, and after that, just a in parentheses, Florida. And then...
Florida. Damn it.
Earth, huh? Now saying that's very interesting.
And then the last name is another familiar one, Rex. Listed on Eucharis in Scourge's domain.
I know that fella.
Yeah.
Is there any indication that he has captured Wolfang on the pad?
Wolfang is crossed out.
Oh dear.
Has he been crossed out? Like, in gangster fashion?
Wolfang was that wolf guy that was following me around for a while, right?
Yeah, he's
Yep.
Because you left him out to dry there.
Yeah, that's what nature does. You should know that.
he's not here. You can't
I'm
scold him.
not disagreeing with you.
You'd be surprised.
So yes, 4 names. Wolfang's name is crossed out, and yeah. So do with that what you will. Now, let's take a look at the data that you folks had gotten from the Cyborg Candy Store. And I'm going to need another computers check from you, Magnum.
All right.
Nike will give you a +2.
All right. 24.
Total. Wow, that's a pretty low roll.
I'm not using all the tools at my disposal because if you guys want me to transform and turn on the hat, I can get a lot more out of this.
So with that, you're able to get into the account information, and for the most part, a lot of it is just sales records, and nothing really looks too suspicious or really interesting until the day that you went in. The sales records for that day shows 80 Phantom Tempests and 40 Petro Rabbits, billed to account number 201-1814. Now, with that, you know what you purchased, and you know that it wasn't a Petro Rabbit, so you kind of figure out that there's a code or something to this to prevent normal eavesdropping. So looking back on the sales records, several days ago, it shows that 2 petro rabbits were sold to a bot named Thunder.
Thunder. Is he from down under?
Thunder! And if you want to, you can give me a wisdom check.
Who's this?
Actually, any of you can give me a wisdom check, because I'm sure you shared the information with everyone. Let's start off with the Denizen this time.
Oh, why not? Want a thrill, do you? That is not very thrilling at all. It's a 10.
10.
Yep,
All right.
I rolled a 10.
I rolled a 3.
I got 2 10s.
And a 3.
No, I got 2 10s. Both my characters got a 10.
Oh.
Wild Strike, what'd you get?
I got a 12.
12.
Big winner.
You're Socrates here. My goodness.
Yeah, well, with that, I can't give you too much, but I can say that...
Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot Nico.
Let's do it.
10.
It's a 10 wisdom day.
Thank you, Roll20, for keeping it consistent.
Very average. Yeah, can't give you too much, but with all of that, one of you can kind of put 2 and 2 together and think that, hey, if Magnum gave an alias, then this name is also likely an alias.
But it has an account number, right? That they built it to?
No, the account number I read off was the account that your purchase is being billed to.
So they didn't have an account number built to the one we're looking at?
They did not, which tells you a couple things. It was probably a person who came in, like off the street.
And they probably paid cash.
Paid in Shanix.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thunder.
I have to go. That list is troublesome to me, and I'm going to go see if Wolfang is actually dead or captured. And assuming he is, then that means I'm going to have to go check on Rex too, but we'll see what, step 1. I'll meet you guys at depth charges later.
Well, I like Rex. He's a fair enough fella. I'll go with you, if you want.
I can't stop. Well, I could stop you, but I'm not going to,
Yeah,
All right.
Do you need extra help, or are you just going to visit him right now?
I'm going to go look for Wolfang right now. I'm going to go see Lord Scourge. So you guys, I'm not much of a talker for that sort of thing anyway, so I'd say just go talk to him, and best case, Wolfang is fine, then I could just kind of keep coming with you. But if he's dead or missing, then my priorities will change.
All right. We'll catch up with you then later.
Yeah, I would say just radio us.
You know exactly where I'm going.
Yeah, radio us as soon as you know. That way, if you need to do more looking, we can help. So after your meeting. He's probably going to be less impressed if we all showed up.
Who?
Scourge.
Lord Scourge? Oh,
we're not as... I don't have to...
He's not impressed no matter what you do. And that's...
None of us have teeth, I don't have teeth.
Well, speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, good luck. I will see you guys in a bit.
Good luck to you.
I've got this really strange feeling. Like, I'm never going to see him again. It'll pass.
So lucky.
It'll pass.
You're right. He's liberated, isn't he?
Peace, you guys. I'm going home.
Take me with you.
Yes. Take Magnum with you.
Carapace, yeah, you head on out and head on over to the fighting pits and Lord Scourge. It's a very familiar area for you because you've been there relatively recently. And you know what the greeting's going to be. You want to take any preparations for this?
I'm going to turn on my shield.
Nice.
Yeah,
all right.
Activate my force field. So, and then try and roll a 20 because I think that's what I needed to hurt him.
Okay, let's do this then.
Okay.
You head on up to Scourge. You can see all of the animals around him. You get nods of respect as you walk through. Scourge gets his eye on you really as soon as you enter the arena.
Oh, he misses nothing. I know.
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
He walks right to the center, eyes front, and he just watches you come up to him.
Okay.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna try and punch him. Come on. Character-based natural 20. 7. 20's right next to the 7. Okay.
You reach your arm back and you take the swing. You're ready for this time. You boom, hit him square in the gut. He doesn't move.
Okay.
He reaches his arm back.
Bring it.
Nice big horizontal swing. Comes right in, aiming right for your chest.
He might miss. Who knows?
25.
Ooh,
yeah.
He missed me.
Ooh.
Whoa. Okay.
Were you doing a seismic punch?
Oh, of course. yeah. You know, but a 21's wouldn't hit me. It's never not gonna hit him.
Yeah, his fist comes in. I like to think that it hits you, but you hold your pose. He impacts you, but you slide back a couple of feet, but you don't move.
Yeah.
You can see people outside the arena going, "Oh, the bells! The bells! Ding! Dong!"
You hear the roar of the crowd and like there's cheers going up. It's like, yeah.
Okay. Well, that was unexpected.
Well met indeed, Carapace. Well met. Did you level up since last I saw you?
Nah, it'll be at the end of this session. Don't worry. We're getting all meta on it. Have you seen Wolfang?
Wolfang. The dog, right?
Close enough.
No, I haven't seen him in several days.
I was afraid of that.
Why? What has happened? Has he done something to you?
I had a visit from one of the servants of the Fate Weavers. And they had a list, and Wolfang's name was on it and was crossed off. So I'm trying to verify if he's either captured or dead. So,
He'll put his hand up for a moment to kind of tell you to quiet for a second, and he will turn and...
Wouldn't he just ask the crowd?
He's learning diplomacy. I also don't necessarily want everybody to know that the Fate Weavers are here fucking with me, so tiniest amount of discretion is appreciated.
Well, you are doing this on the biggest stage you've ever been on.
I don't know if that's true.
For Carapace?
Yeah.
You did go to court.
I'm like, I've been to court. I've been in bigger gladiator arenas than this. This is just like a makeshift one that was imported. Like, you ever seen one on your cars, man? Like, it's as big as Cybertron. Royal Rumbles are a serious thing there. Oh, good times.
Let's get ready to No, not the announcer. Oh, God. I'm stuck in this.
He will call over a little bot called Pack Rat.
Pack Rat.
Yes. He's a rat. A somewhat large, but he's a blue rat.
Does he transform into a Pac-Man?
That'd be cool.
Waka, 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 waka.
That's Fozzie. But you would know because you're a bear. Yeah. Waka, waka, waka.
Waka, waka.
Packrat, I need information. Have your Warren seen Wolfang? There is concern that he may have lost his life.
And this guy Packrat's got this little squeaky kind of little high-pitched tiny voice.
No, I haven't seen him. Not in a while, quite a while.
Sounds like a knee-jerk reaction. Like it could have been anyone.
But I'll ask my boys if they've seen him.
Okay. Can you tell me when he was last seen?
Pack Rat actually like runs back a little bit, and he you can see him like talking to a bunch of other like little rat and mice. Some of them look like they haven't transformed in years.
Do you know what this thing actually reminds me of? It's like that's that episode with the Binars in Star Trek: The Next Generation, where they're just kind of like, it's like, oh, 1 second, like, you know, it's just like they spoke in binary, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, right, we just had a dissertation conversation, like, you know, because it was so fast.
Yep. He comes back.
Last time we saw him was 7-8 days ago. Some of the First Street pillagers saw him rubbing all over your door.
Okay, well, I don't want to say thank you. How do I leave without saying thank you? So I'll nod to the to the rat. I will nod to Lord Scourge, and I will just head in the direction of my. I mean, like, you know, like they know what I'm doing now. Like, there's no conversation needed.
Yep.
Haha. See you later, Carapace.
And you can see several of the mice kind of like scamper out of your way as you walk off.
Right.
Takes you a few to get to your residence, but yeah, you make it there with no problems. And you transform to your beetle form, kind of sniff around, see if you can pick up Wolfang's scent. And it is
the Fate Weaver scent, too.
Or the Fate Weaver scent. You can pick up Wolfang's scent, and it is very strong. And it is very close by.
He's been marking your door, isn't he?
Do you want me to roll a perception or survival to track it?
Go ahead and do a survival.
That is a 30.
Yeah, you can notice it's stronger by your door. You think he probably has been marking it, but...
Whatever.
Dogs, what do you know, right?
Yeah.
But you can track his scent trail as it heads away from your you and you do get a different scent, one that's very familiar and very similar to the spider that you guys fought. You track the scent, and it leads you to behind your residence, behind like the apartment block of your residence, and you head into like the little access way behind your apartment building, and there is what looks like a pile of something kind of off in the darkness. You approach, and there is the partially eaten corpse of Wolfang. And we'll see you next time.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
From the Secret Files of Teletran 1, Empire of Rust is written and GM'd by Michael Ordway. Headmaster Magnum and his partner Pythagoras are played by Matthew G. Denizen, the mysterious druid, is played by Adam H.U. The Decepticon warrior Wildstrike and his partner Nyko are played by Mike M. And Carapace, the bee soldier of primitive Eucharis, is played by Patrick Finn. Additional characters are played by Michael and Cassandra Ordway. Empire of Rust is supported by the humans and networks of planet Earth, whose online networks provide access to libraries of sound effects and music, such as Storyblocks, Zasplat, Blue Zone, and Dark Fantasy Studios. We are distributed by the Transmissions Podcast Network. Stay up to date with all the latest news and reviews in the world of the Transformers by going to transmissionspodcast.com or searching for the Transmissions in your podcast app of choice. You can communicate with the heroes of Iacon by joining us on the Transmissions Discord channel. There you can discuss episodes, talk to the cast, and download the rule set used in the Empire of Rust. Teletran 1, signing off.